Daybreakers.
Good morning.
Yes, do we have a guest?
She was.
Well, welcome. Yes. And Asia, I would really like Thomas Edison if I had known back in the 1800s when he lived. Thomas Edison was a famous inventor. He had 1,000 patents by the time he died. One of which was the light bulb as we know it today. Thomas Edison has some famous quotes, one of which is, genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. And he also said that when you've exhausted all possibilities, remember this, you haven't. I have that quote on my email signature. And I get a quote from a famous person like Thomas Edison every day. And I save those quotes that mean the most to me, and I put them in a file on my desktop. And when I need inspiration to get through a particularly difficult moment or difficult person, I pull out a quote. For example, if somebody at the office is criticizing me, for no apparent reason, of course, I remember the words of Mark Twain, who said, "Don't hang around little people. Little people put you down. It's the big people that build you up and make you feel great like they are." And when I get up and I feel just plain funny, something happened, I remember the words of Groucho Marx, the famous comedian, who said, "I have the power, not events, to make me happy, and I choose to be happy." And the words of Judy Garland, when I think of people that are great and I try to copy them, I think of Judy Garland, who's best known for her role in The Wizard of Oz. She said, she said, be a first-rate version of yourself, not a second-rate version of someone else. And those words are so true. Be yourself. And oftentimes, I get the best career advice in the world. And some of the best advice on careers is old as Aristotle. Aristotle says that we are what we repeatedly do. And so, excellence is nothing more but a habit. And many of you know Mary Kay Ash, and know of her. How many of you use her products? I sometimes do that. Mary Kay started her career with Stanley Home Products. For 25 years, she had house parties, built her career up in the company, and tried to tell Stanley Home Products how to better run their company. And they wouldn't listen to her. So she quit and started Mary Kay Cosmetics, one of the most successful business women in the United States. And she said, aerodynamics, the bumblebee should not be able to fly. But no one's told him that. So he goes on flying anyway. And one of my most famous quotes, one of my most interesting movie actors of all time, John Wayne, he said, "Life is getting up one more time than you've been knocked down." And I had another favorite, Winston Churchill. You know Winston Churchill very well. Some of you have seen my email signature, another laptop that I have. I have several laptops with different signatures on each one. Winston Churchill says that success is going from failure to failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. And that is so true. I have failed more often than I have started up events. And if Thomas Edison had stopped the first time he failed, we would not have the light bulb. And so there's a lot to be said for quotes. And actually, some of the best quotes in the entire world come from the oldest book in the world, the Bible. My golden rule is to do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Now that doesn't always work. And when that doesn't work, I go on on to my next golden rule, and that is, ask and you shall receive. And when that doesn't work, I keep trying. But we can also get some of the best tips on public speaking from the Bible. Many of you have read Matthew, and remember that Jesus was constantly trying to coach his disciples and get out there, preach, spread the word. And they were cowering idiots. And he'd say, don't worry about what you're going to say or how you're going to say it, for when the time is right, the words will come to you. And it's not you that's speaking anyway. Don't give yourself the credit. It's the Word of God within you. And I use that, not when I'm speechless, because I'm rarely speechless. It's when I'm not expecting those words, and they just come. You've all been there. Words have just fallen out of your mouth, and you have no idea where they came from, do you? They just come. And so the point there is to realize that there's a power within you that's bigger than all the words that you can conjure up. And sometimes the best prepared speeches fall flat on their face when you try to put your own words in it. And sometimes the best advice is not saying the right thing at the right time, but it is avoiding the wrong words at the time. Which means you doubt sometimes keep your mouth shut. So I have used many of these quotes, and sometimes I think to myself that it's just too late. It's too late to get started. It's too late to be that person that I would like to be. It'll take me a lifetime to accomplish what I want to. But I remember one of the most famous quotes of an author. This is an English author. Her name is George Eliot. That's her pen name because people wouldn't listen to her if she used her real name, Mary Ann Evans, because that was a female. And furthermore, they would expect melodramatic novels out of her. But she wrote some of the most poignant works in all of English literature. And she said it's never too late to be the person that you could have been. So remember that, fellow Toastmasters. I gain lots of inspiration from quotes wherever you get them. There are so many great people in the world, but sometimes if you just take these words of philosophy from successful people and adopt them into your own style, you can remember some of the most famous words at the right time. And when you're tempted to copy somebody else or to listen to somebody else, remember the words of George Edgar Howey, who was a famous journalist. And he said, don't trust other people's instincts, trust your own. After all, if you're going to make a mistake, let it be your own. Thank you, Ella.